Well, it's still AM Sports reaching live from the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Time we take it home and bring you some, interesting discussion on the Nigerian Volleyball Premier League, which is in day 3 ongoing right here at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. And joining us in the studio is the chairman of the League Management Committee of the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, talking about architect Tenimu Adamu. Thank you for being the guest today on AM Sports, sir.
You're welcome.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great job you're doing for volleyball development. Let's take a look at this first phase of the league into match day 3. How are the teams performed so far? Talking about the quality and the level of the game so far. How the teams, responded, to the competition at this first phase.
To be frank, this year or this time around, we have brought in very many professionals from outside the country, playing for different teams that are competing in this Premier League. But most importantly, I must thank the Comptroller General of Customs, who give us this platform to be able to exhibit the kind of sportsmanship in volleyball in this country and bring out all the potential that we have, especially in this period of very choked up international games coming up during the latter part of the year. So far the game has been going on very well. We've had very competitive moments. We have had teams that have showcased what they can do, and everything is going fine.
Okay, talk about the league, the format this time around, how they're playing, how the teams are playing, leading all the way to who's going to emerge as champion in terms of the format of the competition.
Well, and normally in our leagues, we play them in 2 phases. That is home and away. And in each of the teams, the male and female, we have 13 teams in the male category and 12 teams in the female category. And the format is basically round robin. It's a league thing. So, and in league competitions, you have to play each and everybody. So in phase 1 now, we are taking it as home. And in phase 2, we are going to take it as away. So that at the end of phase 2, we'll be able to determine who is the champions of the league. So at this very moment, we are just taking the teams and to play each other, so that they gather points. They make points towards the phase 2 of the competition.
So you're playing phase 1 now.
Yes.
Phase 2. So what happens? They're going to take a break before we get into phase 2?
There's going to be a break, and somehow, somewhere between July, August, we're going to have the phase 2.
Now we have the women in the team. We have women taking part in the league, and also the men. Talk about the quality and the standard. I mean, you've seen past seasons of the league. What tells us that this season is going to bring up that same quality and same standard before the champions are being emerged in this particular phase?
To be honest with you, because of the season that we are having, this particular phase 1 of the game has been very much at high level, better than what we have actually exhibited in the last season. So I think one of the factors contributing to this is the fact that we are picking our national teams from this particular competition. And essentially the competition is the platform that provides for such kind of opportunity. So many players have come out to show us that, we can be those players that you're looking for, and the clubs have contributed in many ways by which they present these players to us, and we have sufficient technical experts that will look at this competition and be able to determine who can actually qualify for the national team.
I was going to come to that. Talking about the scouts we have for the technical committee of the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, how do they assess these players? Because do they look at their performance till the end of the season, or sometimes they look at their performance in a particular match before they get called up into the national team?
Yes, we look at their performances at the beginning of the season, and most of them that are outside the country, we're using this platform to check their fitness level and how they can perform. Because seriously speaking, it's not only for us to just believe that this guy is playing in Europe or in Asia, so without knowing his fitness level, his performance level, and just bring him to the national team. No, we have a configuration of so many experts, coaches, at the highest level of certification of FIBB. And these are coaches that have shown their onions in the past. And they have this responsibility of taking, checking, and looking at how this league is going on. You can imagine now, each club is going to play at least a minimum of 14 games.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
Within the period of this league. And there is enough time for these coaches to be able to look at these players and see how their performances are.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the standard, that's the quality we really need in the volleyball league. Talking about the league, you know, the way it's been run in so far in Nigeria, now they're playing the first phase. Do you think we are up to the standard compared to other African countries when it comes to the league? I know those players, when they go to the West African competition, they're one of the very best when it comes to Zone 3. But I mean, talk about our own league.
Africa in general.
Africa in general, because I know the North Africans who always want to give Nigeria a run for their money. But let's just start with the West African sub-region when you go to the international volleyball African championships.
Yes, we can say that we're beating our chest. When we came in late last year as a board in the MBBF, we had a project. The project was to change the narrative, to be able to say that, look, Nigeria in the past used to be a competitor, a well-known in terms of volleyball championship in Africa, not only even in West Africa. I can't remember in the past when, say for example, countries that beat us in the last All-African Games to have taken even a set out of our games. But when we came in, was like, okay, we have a project, we have an ambition, we want to change the narrative. And we came up with so many new ideas that will make us, one, competitive, two, attuned to the international best practice as far as volleyball is concerned, and three, take us to that level where we are considered as one of the few in the continent that can say, yes, Nigeria is a volleyball playing nation. So this is where we are at now, and we have started to put in all those things in place that are necessary to make us that competitive.
So as a technical member now of the board, now let's look at the clubs. For example, take each club taking part in the league. What are the areas you really need these clubs to improve upon? I mean, what advice do you have for these clubs to, you know, become more professional and make the league viable, interesting as, you know, international standard that we want the league? Because if the clubs are not as professional as they could be, it will be a reflection of the league, because the club side must be of international standard to make our league of international, just like what we see in football also. So what advice does the federation have for each club taking part in the league?
Well, you see,
standard clubs.
You see, one of the few things that we can do on our own before we get to the clubs is to regulate properly how volleyball is being played in this country. And there are standards established by the FIBB itself, the CABB, which is the Confederation of African Volleyball, and we are trying to attune ourselves to all these regulations that really professionalize and look at how this game is being played all over the world. So that is one. And we have come up with some regulations that are actually attuned, regulations and guidelines attuned to the FIBB limit as regard to what volleyball should be. Secondly, now on the club sides, we'll advise. We'll tell them that, look, it is high time that you professionalize these clubs that you are running, and we have a large chunk of professional coaches at different level of certification of AIBB.
Yeah.
So we'll advise club to continue to employ them, to continue to give them that opportunity to display whatever they have in their kitty, so that clubs can be as professional as they can be, and that quality will be brought to the national platform, where we regulate all those activities associated with the different clubs across the country.
Yeah, so the technical committee, do you normally give them like a clinic before the league commences? What you expect of the clubs, the way they regulate their players, the way they perform? So do you have a session where, like a clinic where you educate the club, the coaches, how these clubs can be run before the league commences?
Yes, we have had our first technical meeting on Sunday.
Okay, good.
And it is a forum whereby you sit down with the coaches and the federation, and then discuss all issues as they affect, all professional and technical issues as they affect the game and the competition, the Premier League in particular. And in every of our leagues, we have some other leagues that are actually below the Premier League. We do such kind of meetings. And then from time to time, we organize seminars and conferences where we bring together these people. Like in this particular Premier League, we intend to organize a seminar that will bring resource persons that have the know-how of how these things are done everywhere in the world. And we intend to talk to the coaches, the club owners, the players, and all stakeholders that will be able to get this knowledge and say that, yes, we are now a professional club, or I am now a professional volleyball player, or I am a coach that has undergone this training to be able to acquire the knowledge necessary that will make me become the person that I want to be in the volleyball cycle.
One key, aspect of running a league is the officiating, the referees, of course, the umpires. You understand, they are key stakeholders in making the league the international standard that we want it to really attain. Now, how much have you done in terms of making the referees officiate perfectly for all the clubs to be in sync, so that they don't have different ideas of how the officiating needs to be, so that sometimes a club comes and feels like they're not being carried along, then they're being cheated? But in terms of the referees, how much have you done? How did they perform even in the first phase of the league so far?
Well, the referees have been performing wonderfully. That is one thing. And secondly, we have different chunks of organizations that are affiliated to the federation. One of them is the Referees Association. And the federation on its own part go out of its way to bring in experts that will conduct training programs that are accredited with the FIBB for referees as well as for coaches. As we are now, sometimes next month we're going to take some of our coaches to, say, Ghana for coaching course. And we're taking some of them to Senegal for officiating a refereeing course as it affects beach and what have you. So you can see the connection where we are doing everything possible to make sure that we are fully professionalized. And for everything to happen, we have to associate ourselves with the overall regulating body in the world. That is the Federation of International Volleyball and the Confederation of African Volleyball. So these are two organizations that properly regulate the conduct of player, coaches, even the administrators in the volleyball cycle. And of course, we are getting corporations from all these bodies. And we are making our volleyball community very much professionalized, very much in tandem with what is going on all over the world, and you can see our appreciating.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, we can make mistake here and there,
okay,
because we are human beings.
Yeah.
Yes, but then we are doing whatever we can to make sure that, yes, we have reached that level where everybody is aspiring to.
Yeah, let me ask you this critical question before we wrap it up. I mean, the league management committee that runs the league, I mean, the federation gives you the mandate to run the league. How satisfied or how happy or how, impressed with does the federation have with the league management committee in terms of how you've, run the league so far, the first phase up to match day 3? How impressed is the federation in terms of the mandate they've given you to run the league, a professional league?
Well, I don't know whether I'm the right person to answer this question, but then I'm having 2 caps.
Okay, yes,
here.
I know.
I'm the vice president of the federation, as well as the chairman league management committee.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to speak from the federation aspect of it now. To be honest with you, we have had accolades from the president, from members of the federation, on the way we organize this competition. And as you may have it, it was rather practically impossible for us to have managed this to this level without the sponsor. You know how sport is being managed, how sport is being organized. It is capital intensive, especially in a country like Nigeria, where we have a very large population. We have to reach every aspect of the corner of the country.
And the players traveling, clubs traveling from different parts of the country.
From different parts of the country. And we practically have clubs from every political zone of this country.
Interesting.
Here in Abuja. And I've had to discuss with some other of our colleagues in other federations, and they have shown their pleasantness with what is happening with volleyball in this country, despite all the challenges that is being thrown at us. And we as a federation, we are happy these challenges are being thrown at us, because it makes us work well. It makes us bring out the best out of the best of us. So we are happy, and we like to appreciate the support of the National Sports Commission, and of course, one and all, our sponsor, the Controller General of the Nigerian Customs Service, who has been all undoing to make sure that this league is taking place for the 3rd time consecutively now in this country.
But as a 2-cap, what are the areas you really need to improve on the league? What do you want to see before the league ends?
Well, one thing is I really want to see how these players are improving day by day. I want to see them bringing out the best in them, so that by the time we finish this league, we will have a team, a national team, that will beat our chest and say that, look, Egypt, come on, bring it on. Tunisia, Algeria, bring it on. And some other countries that are coming onto the volleyball cycle from Southern Africa, Central Africa, and what have you.
Fan, I'm going to ask you this question. How has been the economic impact of the league, where the league has been run, at the venue of the league? How has been the ambience? How has the league impacted the economy?
It is tremendous. You can see, when you come there, you see the number of people that come in there. You can see the number of vendors that we have. You can see how lively the stadium has become. Because our league is not a one-time thing. It's not starting from now to the next. It takes the whole day. So you find people coming there, and economically, you can see the impact it is making. The number of people that are transporting people to the stadium, the number of vendors that are bringing foods and what have you, as well as even the management of the stadium. You know that now there are certain fees that you pay to get into the stadium. So this alone has brought in the economic impact that is required. and that is necessary for this country to move forward. You can imagine if this thing is being replicated in almost every other state and within the sports cycle. So it is contributing in a manner that we have least expected in this particular time, where everybody is finding it difficult to do one or two things. Yes.
Quite interesting. Thank you so much. Of course, that has been the chairman of the League Management Committee of the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, Tenimu Adamu. Of course, taking us through the first phase of the Nigerian Volleyball League, and of course, the progress the League Management Committee has done so far. Of course, they're still in the first phase. This is day 3. And of course, we want the league to have all the modalities to be in the right place for the league to have international standard. Thank you for being a guest today.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Absolutely. And I will always be willing to tell Nigerians what we are doing in the Nigerian Volleyball Federation.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for being the guest today on M Sports. You're still watching M Sports, which is live from the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. We'll take a short break now. When we return, it'll be time for the news at 11. Stay tuned.